Tonight, the new COVID variant raising alarm round the world. The U.S. prohibition travel from 8 African countries once the Planet Health Organization tagged the new letter variant found in African country as a variant of concern. The fears triggering the worst day of the year on Wall Street. The Dow plunging 900 points. President Biden disbursement Thanksgiving on Nantucket. His new message to all or any Americans. NGT. And also the question, is that the extremely new mutated variant a lot of transmissible and might it evade the vaccines? Dr. Fauci is here. Shots laid off at a mall stuffed with vacation shoppers. The photographs of shoppers fleeing. What police simply disclosed Black Friday as back crowds returning to stores. However, finding inflation and restricted provides our exclusive behind the scenes at the best obtain wherever some massive vacation looking changes area unit future. Red flag warnings within the West. Tens of thousands. While not power thanks to the powerful Santa Ana winds. We're on the front lines. The president of land accusatory Russia of plotting a CO a number of Broadway's biggest smashes. And shake the season into gear mechanism with the come of the known Rockettes. We're progressing to tell you what we all know and what we do not understand tonight as a worrisome new COVID variant rears its head, tagged with the Greek letter and classified by the WHO as a variant of concern. These days the U.S. asserting restrictions on jaunt here from African country wherever the variant is spreading. Consultants troubled by the massive variety of mutations. Whereas their area unit early indications it may be a lot of transmissible than previous variants, it's not proverbial. If it's a lot of deadly and if it will weaken the effectiveness of vaccines, uncertainty rattling money markets these days because the U.S. averages 90,000 new COVID infections each day. In an exceedingly moment, a number of my spoken communication with Dr. Fauci regarding the letter variant. But first, Gabe Gutierrez with the most recent reporter. Tonight, concern over a brand new extremely transmissible COVID variant initial known in South Continent as wavelet across the world. The White House imposing new restrictions on air travel from 8 countries beginning on A World Health Organization panel has simply named the strain letter and classified it as a variant of concern. This variant incorporates a massive variety of mutations. And a few of those mutations have some worrying characteristics. Reporter. President Biden voice communication. He was briefed by his COVID response team this morning. We do not understand heaps regarding the variant, except that it's of nice concern, appears to unfold. Chop. Reporter. These days the WHO convened an emergency meeting, however cautioned against in response still from Asia to Europe to the US. Stocks tumbled, the Dow plunging a lot of the 900 points. You will be anticipating. Check come results. Reporter. Passengers on this flight from South Continent were told the new restrictions before inbound within the Netherlands. Individuals have gotten a lot of anxious. They require to urge tested, they require to travel home, and the way along is that this progressing to take? We do not understand. Reporter. These days Kingdom of Belgium was the primary European nation to substantiate a case round the world, a growing list of countries area unit currently limiting travel from southern continent. Though, a lot of study as required. Consultants warn that it may be a lot of immune to vaccines. South African epidemiologists assume that this can be a lot of transmissible than the Delta variant. Reporter. What's the probability that this variant is already within the U.S.? It's already here. Sadly, we tend to currently understand from previous variants that by the time we tend to choose it up in AFRICAS and within the EC, it's already seemingly reporter. All this comes because the US simply crossed another serious milestone in the pandemic. Over 780,000 Yankee lives lost. There's conjointly a surge in new cases nationwide, a median of over 90,000 new infections every day. And GT, we tend to area unit. Currently bearing strength of delayed wave. Delta has very knocked United States for a loop. Reporter. However, on this Thanksgiving weekend, aviation is back to virtually pre-pandemic levels. The government agency screening over 2.3 million passengers on this can be our initial plane travel trip mistreatment an airline since the pandemic hit. So, Gabe, let's go back to the current variant at once. I believe heaps people need to grasp if those shots we tend to got area unit progressing to work. What area unit? The makers of the shots voice communication. Pfizer, Moderna and J&J say they are already testing their vaccines against this variant. Pfizer is expecting results back among fortnight just about, however says that its immunizing agent might need an adjustment if this variant keeps spreading. Lester. Gabe Gutierrez, thank you. Earlier I spoke to Dr. Anthony Fauci regarding the new variant and that I began by asking what's thus regarding it. Well, it's a constellation of mutations, Lester, around that spike macromolecule, which might be powerfully indicative that this may be extremely transmissible and may, in fact, escape a number of the immune parameters like organism antibodies and also the convalescent humor plasma once individuals recover, ensure even some protection from the antibodies that area unit induced by vaccination. Thus we're taking it terribly seriously. It's spreading very quite chop in African country. Then we're seeing cases stoning up in countries around significantly once there has been travel from African country or southern African countries to different places like Israel in places like that, and for that reason, the President set providentially to place the travel restriction on not solely to South Continent, however to 7 different countries that border African country. Is what you're seeing at once the sort that keeps you up in the dark. You do not need to frighten the Yankee public, however once one thing happens that you would like to require seriously, you're taking it seriously and you are doing no matter you'll be able to mitigate against that. I mean, I am voice communication this totally clearly that if ever there was a reason for susceptible individuals to urge immunized and for people who are immunized once it slow comes up to travel and get a dose as a result of. Although there could also be some diminution, and that we do not know that within the protection against the immunizing agent, actually to be immunized and boosted is often higher than to not be. Thus that is the initial issue. The second issue is what the president has set to try and do. He is taking it terribly seriously, and that is the reason for the restrictions from travel from shore countries. You name the booster shots, the revived importance of booster shots. What quantity edge do they offer you? The booster shots offer you awfully, terribly vital edge if you check up on the amount of those protecting antibodies following the height response once 2 doses. And compare the level following the peak response once the 3rd booster shot of an messenger RNA, it's multiple times higher once the 3rd shot of an messenger RNA. However long once this weekend would you expect to examine the impact in terms of infection numbers of this vacation? Well, whenever you have a congregate scenario wherever individuals travel, it's sometimes measured in an exceedingly few weeks, 2 to a few weeks or a lot of. Once you area unit talking Regarding infection, it's regarding Fortnite just about. Once you area unit talking regarding if anybody gets severe sickness, it's continually insolent indicator of hospitalization and death. We tend to hope that folks once they travel they are careful in order that we do not see a major spike. I do not need to place the words in your mouth. However, area unit we tend to at a dangerous flip at once during this pandemic with this new variant. Well, we've got to be paying attention and take it terribly seriously. I do not actually need to travel up to now on say work. At a dangerous flip we do not have enough info, Lester, to form that determination. However, what we will do is do everything we will to form certain we tend to err on the aspect of safety, and that is the rationale why you're seeing the travel restriction and also the revived stress on obtaining individuals immunized and boosted. A number of my spoken communication earlier with Dr. Fauci. There's breaking news out of Durham, North geographical area wherever a shooting at one in every of the largest looking days of the year sent shoppers running for canopy. Police say 3 individuals were shot and dislocated, as well as a 10-year-old kid at the streets at South Purpose. Another 3 individuals were dislocated within the evacuation. 1 person has been detained and police expect many arrests. Those terrific moments coming back even as Black Friday got into full swing once the pandemic diode several to remain home last year. Vacation looking expected to shatter records this year, despite rising inflation and provide issues as online looking booms, massive box retailers like Best Obtain area unit ever changing with the days. Jolene Kent has an exclusive look behind the scenes reporter. With Black Friday's stampedes retardation to a trickle this season, shoppers area unit disbursement massive online. Most of my looking can most likely be online. Reporter. Shoppers shelled out $5.1 billion online on national holiday, the same as last year. Another $9.60 billion expected online these days. With the pandemic forever neutering however shoppers create their purchases, Best Obtain is reworking however they utilize their large stores. We tend to got an exclusive look within. With the surge in online looking, Best Obtain restored the store, reducing the sales floor aspect by over 0.5 to form area for this new warehouse to do to meet client demand. I might say it is a game changer. You ne'er understand what is here. Reporter. Best Obtain Gov VP Damian Harmon currently says the same variety of consumers currently look online as in stores, that the merchant is absorption on same day and next day shipping from new warehouses like this one. IT will move things quicker as a result of I am in the neighborhood. It does not ought to come back from 120 miles away. Reporter. In every fulfillment center, dozens of individuals choose and pack behind the scenes a part of a growing men that is mostly invisible to the buyer however essential to speedy delivery. What quantity quicker will you get orders to clients now? I might say 10 times quicker as a result of we're solely focused on taking care of the customer in my hand. We've got multiple customers in my hand and obtaining that product out the rear door as quickly as potential. Reporter. However, with major bottlenecks within the offer chain, it's still on the shopper to work out the way to score this season's hottest gift, sort of a PlayStation 5 or Xbox. Can there be enough play consoles for everybody united? Nation's agency needs one for the vacations. I believe that is progressing to be tough in spite of however IT plays out as a result of everyone needs them. Reporter. A race to buy and deliver before time runs out. And if what you would like is sold out, area unit you just about out of luck before the new year. You recognize Some corporations say you may be out of one, particularly if the item you would like is stuck on a instrumentation ship or missing a locality. That is why it's very vital to envision that calculable delivery date once you area unit ordering online. Otherwise, you would possibly be obtaining your gift in Gregorian calendar month, Lester. Okay. Joe Ling Kent. Thank you in precisely 60 seconds. The gorgeous accusation from Ukraine's president. Is Russia plotting a coup and red flag warnings within the West? Many thanks for observance our New4 News channel.